who has never been to a strip club and has never been to Magic City, I appreciated how you guys balanced the entertainment aspect with the Atlanta hip hop scene. What drew you both to telling the Magic City story?
Um, that I feel like I'm speaking for Atlanta from a cultural standpoint. I don't feel like the culture of Atlanta has really been expressed the way that in this modern day time, right? Of course, people know Atlanta to be this. I guess, politically black city because of Martin Luther King and Andy Young and Maynard Jackson and all of these people, and being like the first city to have a black mayor. So I feel like we're known for those things as far as Atlanta, but that's not cultural. That's politics, right? And that's something else. And a lot of times, the story of Atlanta is told from that perspective, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. That's something that's the heritage of the city. But then Atlanta has this culture that the city has, and that story hasn't been told ever. And I feel like doing this, I feel like I'm doing something for the city by finally telling the story of Atlanta, and hopefully, people will see and understand that it's a strip club on every corner or every city or every um, zone in Atlanta. So in Decatur, they got strip clubs. They got Jazzy Tees and they had Jazzy Tees. They got Strokers in Decatur. They got, then when you get downtown Atlanta, you got Magic City. You got um, Cheetah. Then you got the Blue Flame, and then you got Platinum 21, and you got Onyx, and you got it's a club everywhere. Everywhere that you can possibly go in the city, it's probably a strip club 30 minutes away from you, if not less. And I don't think people really understand that. But you learn this in this documentary because it was a law passed, a nudity law passed, and club owners took advantage of that and they opened strip clubs.
Yeah, I mean, I can add if it's helpful. What drew me to the telling of this story is one, everything that JD just said. I think that Atlanta has this like incredibly rich cultural history that doesn't get told enough. And like I'm a northerner. I grew up in Philly and live in New York, and even I was not acquainted with just how much Atlanta did to shape my understanding of hip hop culture and fashion and just everything that we understand to be sort of quote unquote urban culture in the US. And then also the story of Mr. Magic himself. I mean, here's a guy who came from Camden with barely a dollar to his name, moved to Atlanta, built a world famous business, and now gets to hand it down to his sons. And I think that story of like American entrepreneurship and grit is something that we celebrate in every other iteration of it. So like, when the Fords and the Carnegies and the Rockefellers do that, that's something to celebrate. But when it's us and it looks a little different than them, we don't notice it in the same way. So I like when I heard his story, I was like, wow, that is an incredible American story, which is why we called it an American fantasy. That's an incredible American story, that deserves to be told and be celebrated the same way we would celebrate any other story of empire building in this country.
So the portrayal of the dancers in this documentary showed them as empowered business women instead of the stereotypes. Why was that important?
Yeah,
Um,
one, I think when you're sorry. I'll go JD and then sorry, I know this delay is making it tough. I'll go first and then let me know if I miss anything. I think that the in any documentary you want to tell the truth, and like the truth is that they're empowered business women. So I think that that's first and foremost, that like, that's not like a narrative device that we took so much as it is like, wow, we met these women who are some of the most powerful, incredible women I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and we just wanted to make sure we portrayed that truthfully. But then also you consider the environment that they're in, where like they are truly hustling for a dollar day in and day out every night. That it takes a certain kind of human being to excel and succeed in that environment. And Gigi, OG India, White Chocolate. These are women who became legends in their city because of that hustle nature that they have. So it was really just, we didn't have to spin it to portray them like that. We just had to set the camera up and let it roll.
Hello?
Go ahead, Jermaine, same question.
Oh, you wait on me? Okay. Like I said, this is the first time this thing has been put on a platform like this. So you put something on the main stage, it's important that you introduce it properly, right? And I think that stripping and strip clubs have gotten a bad rap because people never knew exactly what's going on in there, right? Is there some sleazy strip clubs out there? Of course it is. Um, but it's also great strip clubs, and this is one of those. And the women in the club are completely entrepreneurs. Like, one thing you learn is that you can't just wake up in the morning and say, I'm gonna go work in Magic City. You have to get up, go downtown, get a permit to actually dance, then take that permit to Magic. And then Magic has to show that permit to the city that all of the people that work there are permitted workers. It's no different than having a job. I mean, a 9 to 5. And I think that the respect level that we as individuals and men that go to that club, we have a respect for these women we know that they're doing a job. We don't look at them as if they're, as anything less than this what they're doing. They're at work. This is a job. They make a lot of money. But they also, they have it's a rough life being. This a rough life. It's no. I wouldn't say that it's much different than me being a studio guy and being in the studio all night and then getting up right now to do these interviews. I don't. It's not. It's a life that you choose the same way you choose to do anything else, and they're doing, and it's a job. So I think that they should be addressed as entrepreneurs, as opposed to like what people have tried to like mark them down to be.
So you created a soundtrack to this documentary.
Yes.
How does the music complement the documentary, and what does this mean for your artistic legacy?
Well, ultimately, it's inspired by this documentary. My music has always been inspired by Magic City, I believe, or just the strip clubs in general. Um, if you listen to Welcome to Atlanta, I speak about going to Magic City, and Strokers and Jazzy Tees. I mentioned these three clubs in Welcome to Atlanta. So Welcome to Atlanta is 25 years old, by the way, the song. Um, so um, I just think that um, the music that you're about to hear is really just a reflection of like the times that I've been in there, because I've been in Magic City. One night I went to Magic City and me and Nelly were trying to create a song, and I told him I just needed some atmosphere. Let's go out. Let's see what the tempo like. Let's see what people are doing in the club, and let's get a feel for what we should do. And that song became a #1 record, which was Grills for Nelly. And that song was mentally created in Magic City. So if you take that story, you could possibly imagine what the music for the soundtrack, or what it's going to be, because that's what it is. It's just what has inspired me in the club, things topics that are club topics. But also it's a lot of music that's on this that's not club topics, that I still feel are very much things that need to be heard while you're in Magic City.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.